I often say that my time in politics is like a bridge. I come from that part of Pittsburgh where your mom would hang the wash outside to let it dry. I come from that part of Pittsburgh that remembers the sky lighting up in orange and red as the fire would come out of the mill as you were driving down the Parkway East after coming through the Squirrel Hill Tunnel. I'm from that part of Pittsburgh that was blessed to grow up in the 70s with Willie Stargell and Terry Bradshaw, and at a time that almost seemed magical to be in the city. But I'm also from that part of Pittsburgh that saw the city fall to its knees and wondered if it would ever be able to return. On the other side of that bridge, I'm now a part of the Pittsburgh that has built the most diversified economy that we've ever had. Part of Pittsburgh that is getting to see neighborhoods being restored and reborn. People moving back into the city after 50 years of leaving it. An investment happening in neighborhoods that haven't seen any investment since the time I was born. That bridge is a very, very special part to me and to people of my generation. It's why we didn't leave in the 80s and the 90s, but we stuck around and fought because we knew there was something worth fighting for. And that bridge becomes more than just a statement or a saying. It's a fabricated part of how we see the city and how we know that we still have more work to do to get us to where we need to be. I'm the person that wasn't supposed to be mayor. I don't come from a political family. That seems to be a requirement in Pittsburgh. My mother and father never put a yard sign in their yard. They never went to a political fundraiser. I have no desire to run for any other office. I have no desire to seek anything else in government. I wanted to be the mayor of the city of Pittsburgh. I love the city. I stayed here during times when my family and my friends all left. I watched it go through its most difficult times, and I saw it brush itself off and stand back up again. My goal is to be able to make sure that the government of the city of Pittsburgh is here for the people. Every day of being mayor will bring a new problem that you would not have foreseen the day before. The most critical issue on your schedule is not on your schedule. It's the issue that just comes up. When we took office in 2014, city government was broken. We had to overhaul all of the departments. The only person we kept was the fire chief. In some cases, we had to completely change departments and create new ones. All of these different changes required within the first 4 years the dedication of a staff of professionals that had to stay focused on being able to get more out of the departments. And that leadership helped to lead us to these past 4 years where we can now see and measure the quantifiable difference in the way that we provide services to the people of Pittsburgh. As I entered my second term in 2018, we were still facing crisis. We had been able to get the financial crisis not only under order, but created the opportunity to create a reserve fund for the city that actually helped to increase our bond rating to the highest it's been since the 1970s before Steele's collapse. At that same time, though, began to see new crises. The crisis of housing and affordability as new neighborhoods were being built in old areas of the city. We had a crisis with our water, not only realizing that there was lead in our water, but that the very organization, PWSA, did not have the capacity to address the problems that they faced because of decades of disinvestment. And in the middle of my second term, as we were dealing with all of these different types of stresses, there would be the shocks. The ones we never would have imagined, the ones like Tree of Life, the global pandemic, and through each of those, we were able to work together as one community, pulling together ideas that came from the people themselves in order to be able to resolve each situation in a way that would make things better than they were before. I think what we need is mature leadership that can bring people together. The ability to understand that I may not agree with you and the position that you have, but your voice is a voice that needs to be heard as a part of that discussion. I've dedicated over a quarter century of my life into doing just that, and doing it at a neighborhood level in order to be able to build consensus so we can see things happen. But the real job of being a mayor is being a servant to the people who are already getting things done within their own communities. The volunteers, the nonprofit leaders, the coach. All of these different people are what make Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh. They're the different parts of that mosaic that when you get to step away from it, you can see that full picture of what our city is. And that opportunity is there for everyone to be a part not only of their own community, but to be a part of the leadership of the city. I want to be able to see a city that is the example for cities all around this country and around the world when it comes to equity. When it comes to sustainability, I want to see a city that understands what our role is with climate change, but also understands that sustainability is how we address all of those stresses and shocks that will be happening in the future, and to be even better prepared for it. I want to see a city that's financially stable, something that I didn't get to work under for over 20 years. Finally, we have that type of stability. And I want to see a city that is being built for all, where everybody has opportunity and where new opportunities that don't exist today will exist tomorrow.